Okay, so my name is Nora Shawki. I know some people in the room, but for the ones who don't know, I am an Egyptian archaeologist. So that means I also came from Egypt yesterday, so I'm a little jet lagged right now, so bear with me. So basically what I do is I dig for a living. I'm kind of like Indiana Jones, Lara Croft, but minus the sexy outfits, as you can see. But in my head, I look like Lara Croft. But anyways, I dig in remote sites all around Egypt and also in Sudan. So this image is actually from a looter's pit in a New Kingdom tomb in Sudan. And actually, I look happy and stuff in this image, but an hour later, the roof collapsed on my team. So things happen, it's a little dangerous in the field. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys like a brief overview of what a day in the life of an archaeologist really is like. So I have workmen, gangs of them. That's how we work in Egypt. We need a lot of manual labor. The terrain is very hard to excavate in, especially in the areas I work in. They're very either wet or there's a lot of dirt. It's not just empty, like vast deserts of sand. And very important to note that we have a lot of tea on site. Egyptians love tea and love a lot of sugar, so they'll get you high on just sugar tea all day long. So what we do is we wake up super early on site. So we go for 2 months at a time, usually in our seasons, so usually a summer season and a winter season. We wake up at 4:30 in the morning. We have to catch the sun because it gets way too hot in Egypt in the afternoon. So we have to dig while it's cool enough for my workmen and to actually do the manual labor. So that's what it looks like when we wake up, and then when we get back from the site, that's actually what the villages look like. So it's all agricultural land that's surrounding the sites I work at. So I'll get into it a little later. So these are what the sites look like. I wanted to show that not everything's as visually appealing as people think. I mean, you're used to, like, in the magazines and in movies and stuff, Egypt is all about, you know, the gold masks, mummies, pharaohs, pyramids. It's not all like that in Egypt, where it's also a super populated country. We're 130 million people in the country right now, and it's booming. And in the area I work in Egypt is the Delta, so that's up north. It's a very hard terrain to excavate in. It's away from Luxor and Aswan, which is down south, which you're probably more familiar with. The Delta was a huge hotspot in ancient Egyptian history. So our technique of excavating there is we do units, kind of trenches, and it's very systematic because we can't dig blindly. These areas are vast and huge, so we won't be able to excavate everywhere if we don't do a systematic way. So anyways, this is what the sites look like. I wanted to show you how close they are to the villages around. So these areas from the top don't look like much, but actually when you dig just a few centimeters below, you can see structures like this. There's tons of history. This is a temple foundation that we found 2 years ago. It is a late period temple. We even found tomb burial pits as well. All of this is in an area that is dubbed as like just a trash dump in Egypt, and it's actually used to be the capital city in ancient Egypt. So it just shows the importance of it. We have coins that we found to date things. This is in pottery. It's how we date our sites. This is from my last summer season. We just excavated a Roman fortress. We just scratched the surface. So my results will be coming out soon. Just watching the clock, it's running fast. So my team, these are some of the men that are on my team. It's all male, they're all Egyptian, something I'm very proud of. I worked very hard to get to this point. I am the field director as a female in a male-dominated society. So that's a really important point. Something quickly for educators. This is something we did, community archaeology. We did a book with Nat Geo that we did about the site and gave it around to the villages surrounding the site we work at to prevent things like this from happening. That's a football field that got built on my site a year ago, and this entire thing is an archaeological site, and there's a mosque that's built here. It's constantly being encroached. This is where I work. There's archaeological land, trash dump, and then there's agricultural land. It's constantly being encroached by modern villages and these lands. So the only way to save them really is to educate surrounding villages and create awareness around the world so we can save these sites and learn more. And it's not just about Egypt and Egyptians, but it's actually we're trying to discover things about humans as archaeologists, and it's for humanity as a whole, so we all should care about it. Thank you very much.